Om Sai Ram. Let's meditate today on the glorious form of the Lord, who is in the form of light in front of us. As we meditate, let's bring the body, the senses, and mind under control. To bring our body under control, let's sit straight with both hands resting on our knees and bringing the thumb and index finger together, symbolizing our union with the Lord. Let's control our senses and mind by practicing pranayama or conscious breathing. As we inhale and exhale, let's silently chant So Hum. Continuing this pranayama, let's now visualize a lit candle in front of us with a gentle flame. With this great light of love and peace, let's now clean various parts of our body and make it a flute for the Lord to play on. We now start the journey. As we visualize the light with closed eyes, let's bring the light to the region of our forehead, praying to our Lord for having good and noble thoughts forever. Now, let's take the light downwards to the region of our heart and visualize a beautiful flower blossoming petal by petal by petal, giving out the wonderful fragrance of love and peace. With pure heart and with pure intentions, let us now purify other parts of our body. Of all our sense organs, the eyes are the most important. Let's take the light to both of our eyes and be blessed to have a vision that is equanimous. Now, slowly, let's take the light to both of our ears, right into the innermost cavity, so that it is purified to hear only what is good. We continue our journey by taking the light to the region of our mouth and keep it on our tongue, which is the gateway to uttering truth, and to be blessed to always speak the truth. Having cleansed the mouth, let's now take the light slowly downwards to our right shoulder, down the right forearm, and to the tip of each finger. Now we have cleaned the right hand so that we perform the right things. Let's now take the light slowly upwards and across to our left shoulder, down the left forearm, and finally to the tip of each finger, so that we are blessed to leave the things that we are supposed to have left. Now, bring the light slowly upwards to the region of our neck, then down to the stomach and through to the right thigh, to the ankle and down to the tip of each toe. Now, slowly bring the light upwards, passing on to our left thigh, down to the left ankle and to the tip of each toe. After cleaning all parts of our body with the sacred light, let us now slowly bring the light upwards to the region of our heart and install our Lord there. Now, let us meditate on the glorious form of our Lord as a resident of our heart. Having meditated, let us now feel that our entire body is glowing with that great light of peace and love. Let us first direct this warm light to our parents and teachers and extend our respects. Now, let's take this light of love and peace to all living beings in the universe as we pray, Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. May all the beings in the universe be happy. Now, let's slowly open our eyes and enjoy the bliss.
Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Offering my humble pranams at the lotus feet of my Divine Mother and Father Bhagavan Sri Sathyasai Baba, who is resident in all. Loving Sai Ram, dearest brothers and sisters. Before starting this auspicious program, I would like to thank the Australia's devotional team led by Brother Sridhar Subramaniam. They have organized a 3-day program with the primary purpose to help us connect to Swami in these extraordinary times. Thank you, Swami. Every year, from the day Swami left his physical form, it is celebrated as sathyasai Aradhana Mahotsavam and considered auspicious by millions of devotees around the world. Aradhana means worship or prayer, and Mahotsavam means grand festival. Swami showed us the way through his life and his message are now what we have. Today, let us offer our prayers and make the effort to practice Swami's teachings and celebrate his life. As part of the 3-day Aradhana Mahotsavam program, today we are fortunate to have 2 guest speakers from US and Australia, in addition to the devotional songs and programs prepared by devotees all around Australia. Tomorrow we will have Sahasranamam chanting of 1008 names of Swami from 6 p.m. led by the Victorian region. On the 26th of April, as part of the Pre-World Conference webinar series, we have our webinar with Dr. Suresh Govind. The guest speakers for today are Brother Srikanth Vaidyanathan, the National Devotion Coordinator of USA, and Sister Padma Ayyagari, the President of Sathyasai Group of Albury region, west of Victoria. Srikanth was introduced to Swami through his family, who came into Swami's fold in early 60s. Growing up in Chennai, participated in a number of Balasvikas activities. Subsequently, he joined in the primary school in Prashanthi Nilayam in 1986 for his 6th grade and went on to complete his high school there. Swami gave number of opportunities to speak in front of him and be part of the bhajan group and in number of convocation dramas. He did his undergraduate studies in Vrindavan and completed his MSc in physics in 1998 in Prashanthi Nilayam. Currently, he is a very active participant of Sathya Center activities in Boston and a regular speaker at many regional events. He currently serves as a National Devotion Coordinator, SSIO USA. He is going to share his experience and some important lessons that we can take from Bhagavan's life. Sister Padma is very well known to those in Australia and the past National Education Coordinator. She is a long-time devotee of Swami and we are very thankful to Swami for his presence today. Before we welcome our first guest speaker, I wanted to thank all of you being here today. In these uncertain times, we must hold on to Swami and never forget why we are here. To realize the inherent divinity. We are currently physically disconnected, but we are so blessed to be virtually connected and to have these opportunities to come together as one Sai family. Let us thank Swami and continue to pray Swami for his love and protection for all humanity. Let us send our love and energy to the world with faith that Swami will take care of this. Jai Sai Ram.
I look upon the mountains, I look into the sky, I look into the rivers flowing swiftly by. You are all I see. Sathyasai Baba, you are all I see. I will come to you, and you will come to me. We will merge as one for eternity. I find you in the stillness, I find you in my heart. I love to hear your guidance so I can play my part. Sathyasai Baba, Sathyasai Baba, Sathyasai Baba. I will come to you, and you will come to me. We will merge as one for eternity. I open up my heart, in love I pass the time. I let your gentle wisdom purify my mind. Sathyasai Baba, you are in my heart. Sathyasai Baba, I will come to you, and you will come to me. We will merge as one for eternity.
Offering our most prayerful pranams at Swami's lotus feet on this occasion of the Aradhana Mahotsavam. Want to send loving greetings to all of you in Australia. I'm very glad to have this opportunity and grateful to share my thoughts on this occasion, which holds a lot of importance in my mind and in all of our minds, because it's the day Swami chose to leave his physical body and become one with the universe. It is interesting times we are living in the world today with the coronavirus or the COVID-19 situation, which has affected all of us around the world, immaterial of class, creed, rich, poor, healthy, unhealthy as well. But at the same time, as I'm sure there as well in the United States, we have focused a lot of online activities. We've tried our best to continue to do devotional activities, either through inspiring spiritual talks or through online bhajan sessions, which have taken different flavors. At the same time, trying to do service activities where we can make handmade masks at home or cook food at home and drop it off at shelters which would accept them in these situations. It has recalibrated on what we think as devotion, what we think as service, what we think as education. All of our SSC, which is Sai Spiritual Education, or Bal Vikas activities have all become online. Each of us have begun to adapt to this environment where we continue to stay connected to further along our own spiritual journeys. April 24th, in my mind, when I think about it, with each passing year since 2011, when Swami left his physical form, and we are 9 years past that at this point. It is a day I always think about quite a bit, having spent quite a bit of my life actually from early childhood all the way through college in Swami's physical presence. Having known him, seen him, felt his touch, heard his words, he was always this person available to us all the time. He was father sometimes, he was mother sometimes, he was a benevolent teacher sometimes, and he was this great guru and God at all times when we chose to learn lessons from him. And this occasion happened where Swami decided to leave his physical form and remove the aberration or the separation between his existence just in Prashant and Nilayam in the physical form. Each of us has been forced since then, particularly, to see him wherever we are, to feel him wherever we are, and to connect to that inner Swami all the time. In many ways, that's one of the greatest blessings, where we feel him within us without having the need to run here and there to look for him. Today I wanted to share a few of my thoughts, along the way some stories and experiences on the topic of what makes Swami so not only he came as a human being, lived as a human being, was an exemplar of values, and there is plenty we can learn from his life in terms of life lessons. Two aspects of his life which I've always been inspired by, I wanted to share today. On one side was his pursuit for perfection in any activity that he did. Most of us know that maybe we start right with his personal appearance. Swami was this pristine self who took care of his physical appearance very carefully. He knew he was this spiritual being. He was God to all of us, giving us darshan on a day-to-day basis. And for the lack of better definition of what God is, Swami has become God for us. So that God always needs to look pristine, needs to look pure, needs to look clean all the time. And this was something Swami always exemplified. As he walked out of the mandir in early days, or as he walked out of the Yajur mandir in later days, there was this one beautiful form of this orange robe and the crown of hair, which made its way all the way from his physical residence amidst all devotees, walking the entire way in mandir with all the eyes glued on him all the time. In all my time there, Swami was always that perfect self who always radiated so much love, so much purity, but at the same time, great external cleanliness, if you will. At the same time, all his activities as well, he put in so much effort to make sure everything was set right till the last moment. With students, jokingly, where he would talk about enough salt in the idlis or upma, to all the way where each of his projects, maybe the educational institutions or the hospitals or the water project, his hand in each of those things was across the board, right from the beginning of the project till the end of the project, being part of every decision, making sure every piece of money which was spent for any of these projects are carefully taken into account. At the same time, making sure every detail is taken care of. We used to have this story where we have heard this story as students that many of you may have visited Prashanti Nilayam. There is the beautiful institute building which exists, the Sathya Institute of Higher Learning, the Prashanti Nilayam campus building, opposite to the primary school, exists even today. It's built in the year, I want to say 80-81 time frame. And at that time, Swami was very meticulous, as you have seen in all of his buildings. First of all, they are always in very standard colors, right? It's the blue, it's the yellow, it's the pink across all, and all colors which are mild, mellow, beautiful, but at the same time have spiritual significance in many forms. So the building construction was on for the institute, and if you noticed, there are multiple idols or multiple sculptures which are done in all those buildings. If for the Krishna, which is in the primary school, then you have the Dakshinamurti in the Sathya Higher Secondary School. And when you look at the institute, there is the Saraswati, and then there is the Nataraja image. All these were done by a sculptor who used to come to Swami for many years together. And Swami had directed him to do the Saraswati as the central sculpture in the institute building. And as he used to sculpt these, it used to take quite a number of days because it's physically done, but he was a beautiful expert in whatever he did. And Swami used to drive by that road all the time, making sure as the construction was going on. And this was something Swami always exhibits in anything he does. Like I said earlier, whether it's a construction project or whether it is giving away saris to Sevadal people at the end of their service in Prashanti Nilayam, or giving away different sweets to all of us as students and devotees as we spend time in his presence in Prashanti Nilayam. In every case, I think Swami's attention to detail was something I was always mesmerized by. And so apparently one day Swami was driving by, and the sculptor told Swami that he had completed the Saraswati form, which obviously was visually visible to everybody. That time Swami took a first look at it, and very far out from the road, he made a comment on the nose on the statue itself, which was slightly to the side. It was not centered on the face. And as the sculptor went back and verified this, obviously that was the case. And Swami's word is always true. This was his attention and eye for detail. Like I said earlier, I think when he used to have different conversations with us, when he used to give us cloth pieces for us to stitch shirts and pants, or he used to give us different types of food to eat, I think the taste of it, I think Swami always made sure everything is meticulous, everything is perfectly planned. And that was something he always exemplified. And in my mind, I always think about that today, because it's not just a divine quality. It is a quality even we all can strive to achieve. Pursuit of perfection, or in other words to say this is putting your best effort in whatever we do. Whether it is physical life, whether it is spiritual life, whether it's at work, whether it's at school, anywhere else, we always need to make sure we put our best effort forward. As the Bhagavad Gita says, in the end, that's the only thing we can control, right? Make sure you put your best foot forward, put all the effort you can before you achieve something. And at that point, leave everything to him to make a decision. And that is the second quality I wanted to say that Swami always exemplified, which was in all my time there and my experience with him. I've always seen that Swami, once the event is done, he's put all his effort. The next thing is his detachment to different things is also very instantaneous. So this detachment is a very interesting or a very, very difficult value to practice. If we, just as an example, if we do celebrate the birthday party of one of our children, we have invited a lot of people to come to the program, and there is a lot of food, a lot of celebration, a lot of happiness, and the event is done. For many, many days to come right after, we will keep talking about the event. We are so stuck in the past that the detachment does not come so easily. I think we continue to delve on the past, and it does obviously give us joy if it's a joyful event. But again, if you get stuck in the past, if it's a sorrowful event, then it gives us the sorrow as well. So in our own mind, we recreate this joy and sorrow cycle over and over and over again. That's why a quality like detachment is important to develop, because it allows us to step away and move on in life to look forward to the next thing. It's often our scriptures say, be an observer in every, like God is the witness of every incident, every action which takes place in this journey of life. How I wish that is something we can all continue to strive and continue to practice, because this detachment will allow us to truly make our life spiritual and continue on this pursuit all the way leading up to Swami. From my own life, I wanted to share one story where this pursuit of perfection, I just wanted to give you an example. Swami used to train us students to be parts of, to give talks in Sai Kulwant Hall or Purnachandra Hall. He would also allow us to be part of the different convocation dramas, allowing us to spend a lot of time with him. I think that's where all the learning is. And the reason these all become important, particularly when I think about it even today, is Swami's amount of preparation into any of these things was supreme. And he set a perfect example, like in terms of the speech or the talk I was telling you. Swami would spend days with us telling us, what kind of content we should, be putting in the talks itself. If people were good singers, he would say, why don't you intersperse your talk with a few songs? Just as a fun thing, he would say people who are asleep would also wake up. Similarly, for the convocation dramas as well, Swami would come to every practice session leading up to the November 22nd convocation day is when these dramas used to take place. And prior to that, these practices would go on for weeks, and Swami would often come to the practice sessions. And Swami would also in the mandir call the participants of the play, give them a lot of lessons on the play, but more importantly, he would give them life lessons. I feel that is where a lot of our learning happened. And I think that is Swami's pursuit of perfection, which I've seen, where it is like one particular play which I was very, very fortunate to be part of is Cheppinadu Chestara, which is Can You Practice All That You Preach? This was a play which occurred in the late 80s. And leading up to the play, I remember, because this is a story written by Swami himself. It's part of Satyam Shivam Sundaram, where Professor Kasturi has captured that Swami as a young boy, where he used to lead this other groups of boys as part of Pandari Bhajan group or otherwise, leading, teaching good lessons to people in the community. I think that was the intention of all these different Pandari Bhajan group or the different plays that he did. That was the intention. And the Cheppinadu Chestara is essentially the story of a boy who basically observes his father, mother, and teacher teach one thing and end up doing something else. And this is a play Swami wrote himself. The idea being that, live by your words. What you say, practice them. Don't just say it for the sake of saying it. And so this play, particularly starting like 20 days before the play, I think we had rehearsals pretty regularly, morning, evening. And it is very interesting to see Swami come. He used to give us lessons on, particularly this is a play he himself had written. So he was the director, essentially, making sure, every act is the way it's supposed to be, the backdrops are the way it's supposed to be, the songs which come in the play are supposed to happen at the right time, the types of expressions that different characters in the play need to do. And he actually particularly told me that, that's the play he had written, and the role that he had played, Krishna, which is the title character. I had the fortune to play that role. And Swami was like, I will teach you how to do each of those things. And now when I think back, the amount of time Swami put personal time and, into spending time with the students doing the play all the time. And he used to come for practices morning, evening. Apart from that, call us for, private session with him to give us guidance on the play, but above more than that, he would give us guidance on life as well. Now, when I think back, these are all just opportunities for us to spend time with him. And that time spent with him is when he gave us substantial life lessons, which to this day, it's fresh in all our minds as we go through this journey of life. It is extremely helpful. And once the 20 days are over, at that time I remember, on the final day when the presentation was supposed to happen, another artifact of, Swami living in the present is he would watch each session as if it is his first time watching the session. He clearly had seen the play, even at a physical level. He had clearly seen the play over and over again, and he knows exactly what's going to happen next in the play. But Swami, every session he used to come, he used to watch it with a fresh set of eyes. That is again an artifact of he pursuing perfection and being detached, but at the same time, I kind of alluded to this earlier, where he always lived in the moment. And that was something exemplary, right? Swami, even though this divine being, he came and lived amongst us as this human being and exemplified these characteristics which are truly exemplary. And now when we live our lives, raising our families, in our own environments, I think it is important that we look at his life. Very often we talk about Swami saying, my life is my life is my message. And then, we saying our lives are his message. To get to that point, I think we really need to embody these values. So just to recap, I think the values we talked about were making sure we put our best effort in whatever we do, work, school, otherwise. I know I'm talking to an audience of children as well as adults, and people who have lived their lives, completed their secular lives and spending more time in spiritual life at this time. I think in every case, I think Swami's life is pretty exemplary, from pursuit of perfection, instant detachment, and which the outcome of all this is allows you to live in the moment, which is super, it allows you to evolve yourself from a simple human being to getting closer to this infinite personality that Swami was, or Swami is, in all our lives. I want to actually close with a letter which Swami himself had written, and particularly on a day when we are rededicating ourselves to Swami for the time he came and he spent and he taught us so many things. And we think about him every moment. But at the same time, I think this letter, it says, who is a Sai devotee? I was reading through this and I thought this might be very, very apt to share. It's a long letter written by Swami. I will read one part of it. And Swami says, again, be engaged in acts that endow every moment of your life with holiness and the fragrance of sanctity. That is the true worship of the Kala Swarupa, he who is time itself. It is not through their words or their songs that persons are judged as Sai Bhaktas, right? Swami is telling us who is a Sai devotee. It is not through their words or their songs that persons are judged as Sai Bhaktas. Deeds must be good and correct. That makes the Sai Bhakta. That gives joy to Sai. I like the purity of the feelings and emotions. Pravartana or practice must be pavitra, which should be pure. Do right and speak right, not do wrong and speak of right conduct. Right? If you do not act the advice you give others, you're insulting the name of Sai that you have taken. So very clear. I think we just talked about that. I think Cheppinna to Chestara. Can we practice all that we preach? And Swami is saying, if you do not practice what you say, then you're not a human being. You're not a Sai Bhakta at that point. Give up show, finery, and exhibitionism. Let your eye be as soft and cool as moonlight, heart as soft as butter, words as sweet as honey. These should be the real characteristics of Sai Bhakta. One more time. Let your eye be as soft and cool as moonlight, heart as soft as butter, words as sweet as honey. These should be the real characteristics of the Sai Bhakta. Serve Sai not with vratas, processions, puja or ritual abhisheka and the paraphernalia of mantras, but with sat karma. So Swami is saying, don't serve Sai with vratas or fasts, processions, pujas or prayers, or ritual abhisheka or anointing the idol, and the paraphernalia of mantras, but with sat karma, sad achara, and sadvakya, which is good deeds, good conducts, and good words. Serve Sai thus. Sai loves these the most. That is the truth of Sai. It's such a beautiful letter, and when we look at our lives where Swami is our central figure day in and day out, very often I think, we spend a lot of time in bhajans which helps us connect with Swami. But at the same time, I think it is important that we read Swami's message, because in the end, that is what we should take away from his life. That is truly what he came to give us. Right? So Swami, just to finish off that, Swami says, spend time in good deeds, good conduct, and good words. I think that serve Sai thus, and that Sai loves those the most. This is taken from Swami's letter, and this was originally published in Sanatana Sarathi in 1964. Yeah, those were times Swami himself used to write for the Sanatana Sarathi, early days. And of course, subsequently, he's given us all the Vahinis and all the sathyasai speaks which capture his discourses over and over again. That is something which, if we dwell more on it, I think, and put into practice even some parts of it, it'll not only make us feel good that we are on the Sai path, but at the same time, put us in a place where we can receive his blessing. That is the message I was thinking about in terms of sharing with all of you, and particularly on this occasion of Aradhana Day. It is our chance to think of Swami more and more and more, and above everything, think of his message, which pretty much he came to offer us. And he's given us 6,000 plus discourses for people who keep a count on them officially, and there's plenty of material for us to read and learn from his life. With that, once again, thank you so much for this opportunity, and want to send greetings and Swami's blessings to everybody in Australia again. Sai Ram.
मंगलदायक हे गणनाथ, मंगलदायक हे गणनाथ, मंगलदायक हे गणनाथ, मंगलदायक हे गणनाथ, प्रणव स्वरूपा विघ्न विनाशा, प्रणव स्वरूपा विघ्न विनाशा, प्रणव स्वरूपा विघ्न विनाशा, प्रणव स्वरूपा विघ्न विनाशा, हे शिवनंदन पाहि दयाला, शिवनंदन पाहि दयाला, शिवनंदन पाहि दयाला, पतिपुरीश्वर जगत परिपाला, पतिपुरीश्वर जगत परिपाला, मंगलदायक हे गणनाथ, मंगलदायक हे गणनाथ, प्रणव स्वरूपा विघ्न विनाशा, प्रणव स्वरूपा विघ्न विनाशा, हे शिवनंदन पाहि दयाळा, हे शिवनंदन पाहि दयाळा, पर्तिपुरीश्वर जगत परिपाला, पर्तिपुरीश्वर जगत परिपाला, प्रणव स्वरूपा विघ्न विनाशा, प्रणव स्वरूपा विघ्न विनाशा, प्रणव स्वरूपा विघ्न विनाशा, प्रणव स्वरूपा विघ्न विनाशा, मंगलदायक हे गणनाथा.
जय गुरुदेवा प्रभु साई देवा,
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 देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
साई देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
साई देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
शिव शिव शम्भो कैलासपते,
शिव शिव शम्भो कैलासपते,
शिव शिव शम्भो कैलासपते,
शिव शिव शम्भो कैलासपते,
पर्तिपुरीश्वर पालय माम्,
पर्तिपुरीश्वर पालय माम्,
पर्तिपुरीश्वर पालय माम्,
पर्तिपुरीश्वर पालय माम्,
देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
साई देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
साई देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
जय गुरुदेवा प्रभु साई देवा,
जय गुरुदेवा प्रभु साई देवा,
देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
शिव शिव शम्भो कैलासपते,
शिव शिव शम्भो कैलासपते,
पर्तिपुरीश्वर पालय माम्,
पर्तिपुरीश्वर पालय माम्,
देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
साई देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
साई देवादिदेवा प्रणमाम्यहम्,
जय गुरुदेवा प्रभु साई देवा.
ॐ जगज्जननी साई माता, ॐ जगज्जननी साई माता, ॐ जगज्जननी साई माता।
ॐ जगज्जननी साई माता।
ओंकार रूपिणी साई माता।
रूपिणी साई माता।
ओंकार रूपिणी साई माता।
रूपिणी साई माता।
ॐ जगज्जननी साई माता।
ॐ जगज्जननी साई माता।
अभय प्रदायिनी साई माता।
अभयप्रदायिनी साई माता।
अभय प्रदायिनी साई माता।
अभयप्रदायिनी साई माता।
साई माता सत्य साई माता।
साई माता सत्य साई माता।
साई माता साई माता।
साई माता साई माता।
अनाथ रक्षकी साई माता।
रक्षकी साई माता।
अनाथ रक्षकी साई माता।
रक्षकी साई माता।
हे अनाथ रक्षकी साई माता।
रक्षकी साई माता।
ॐ जगज्जननी साई माता।
ॐ जगज्जननी साई माता।
ओंकार रूपिणी साई माता।
रूपिणी साई माता।
ॐ जगज्जननी साई माता।
जगज्जननी साई माता।
अभय प्रदायिनी साई माता।
अभयप्रदायिनी साई माता।
साई माता साई माता।
साई माता साई माता।
अनाथ रक्षकी साई माता।
रक्षकी साई माता।
अनाथ रक्षकी साई माता।
रक्षकी साई माता।
हे अनाथ रक्षकी साई माता।
रक्षकी साई माता।
ॐ जगज्जननी साई माता।
शङ्कर शङ्कर सदा शिवा।
शङ्कर शङ्कर सदा शिवा।
शङ्कर शङ्कर सदा शिवा।
शङ्कर शङ्कर सदा शिवा।
सदा शिवा हे साम्ब 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 शिवा।
शङ्कर शङ्कर सदा शिवा।
शङ्कर शङ्कर सदा शिवा।
अम्बा सहिता साम्ब शिवा।
अम्बा सहिता
सदा शिवा
साम्ब शिवा हे सदा शिवा
साम्ब शिवा हे सदा शिवा
साम्ब शिवा हे सदा शिवा
शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा
शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा
सदा शिवा हे साम्ब शिवा
सदा शिवा हे साम्ब शिवा
शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा
शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा
अम्बा सहिता साम्ब शिवा
अम्बा सहिता साम्ब शिवा
साम्ब शिवा हे सदा 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 शिवा
शंकर शंकर सदा शिवा भव सागर से पार उतारो
सागर से पार उतारो
भव सागर से पार उतारो
सागर से पार उतारो
साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान
भव सागर से पार उतारो
सागर से पार उतारो
अल्लाह यीशु बुद्ध महावीर
अल्लाह यीशु बुद्ध महावीर
अल्लाह यीशु बुद्ध महावीर
अल्लाह यीशु बुद्ध महावीर
सब नामों की एक है महिमा
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 सर्वधर्म के पालनहारे
सर्वधर्म के पालनहारे
सर्वधर्म के पालनहारे
सर्वधर्म के पालनहारे
साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान
भव सागर से पार उतारो
सागर से पार उतारो
साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान
भव सागर से पार उतारो
सागर से पार उतारो
अल्लाह यीशु बुद्ध महावीर
अल्लाह यीशु बुद्ध महावीर
सब नामों की एक है महिमा
सब नामों की एक है महिमा
सब
भवसागर से पार उतारो।
करुणान्तरङ्गा करिराज वरदा कमलेश श्री साई रामा। 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 ओंकार रामा प्रशान्ति रामा। ओंकार रामा प्रशान्ति रामा। ओंकार रामा प्रशान्ति रामा। ओंकार रामा प्रशान्ति रामा। परब्रह्म सत्य साई रामा। परब्रह्म सत्य साई रामा। परब्रह्म सत्य साई रामा। परब्रह्म सत्य साई रामा। कमलेश श्री साई रामा। कमलेश श्री साई रामा। कमलेश श्री साई रामा। कमलेश श्री साई रामा। करुणान्तरङ्गा करिराज वरदा कमलेश श्री साई रामा। करुणान्तरङ्गा करिराज वरदा कमलेश श्री साई रामा। ओंकार रामा प्रशान्ति रामा। ओंकार रामा प्रशान्ति रामा। परब्रह्म सत्य साई रामा। परब्रह्म सत्य साई रामा। कमलेश श्री साई रामा। कमलेश श्री साई रामा। कमलेश श्री साई रामा। कमलेश श्री साई रामा। करुणान्तरङ्गा करिराज वरदा कमलेश श्री साई रामा।
Sai Ram everyone. My spiritual journey with Sai began in 1969 when Balvikas first started in Hyderabad. I attended the Balvikas classes for a few years. Then growing up, college, marriage, etc. meant spirituality took a back seat. But God never did. 1983, I was around 5 months pregnant with my firstborn when Swami tried to enter my life again. One evening I was having a nap and he appeared in front of me in a blessing posture and said, Anandam, Anandam, Nityanandam, Brahmanandam, Omkaram, Parabrahma Swarupam, and disappeared. I didn't know why Swami appeared, didn't understand what it meant, so I buried my curiosity to explore and went along with daily life. But that phrase never left me. Full 10 years later, he called me again, and this time I heard him. 1993, Albury, Australia. In April, I saw a little ad in the local paper that said Sai Bhajans. My mother-in-law was missing her weekly bhajans that she was used to attending for over 30 years. There were no Sai centers close by to us, so we went. Half a dozen Australians singing bhajans along with a tape recorder greeted us. I borrowed and read Phyllis Crystal's book Ultimate Experience and Samuel Sandweiss's book Holy Man and the Psychiatrist within a week, and my conscious spiritual journey with Sai Baba began. I immersed myself into Swami's teachings and started having Baba dreams every month from May 1993. These dreams guided me and cleared my very specific doubts. I started writing them down, which soon turned into a daily practice of writing to him for 27 years now. I became our center's chairperson in 1998, which gave me the opportunity to attend the first Chairperson's Conference, My Work is My Blessing, held in Prashanthi in November 1998. Drs. Pal and Tehseen Dal led a group of 12 devotees from different countries to transcribe the talks, type and finalize them, and prepare the manuscript of the proceedings. I was one of the 12. We worked 22 hours each day, missed darshans. I was extremely sick with shingles on my face. Power would go off every couple of hours. Portable printer went off in a smoke and miraculously started working after we offered a flower and a prayer, etc., etc. There were many miracles. And finally, on the fourth day, the manuscript of almost 200 pages of the proceedings of the 3-day conference was presented to Swami at the valedictory function. It was a true miracle indeed. That book, My Work is My Blessing, is a must-read for the office bearers. I was called to do similar work in July 1999 when Australia hosted the first Dynamic Parenting Conference in Prashanthi, and again in November 2000 when the 7th World Conference proceedings were compiled and produced, both these events under the leadership of Drs. Pal and Tehseen Dal. I did my diploma and advanced diploma in Education and Human Values in 2002 and 2003 from the Institute of Sathyasai Education and Human Values, Canberra. I received the diploma certificate directly from Swami's hands in November 2002, the only time that Swami physically gave the certificates to the students of the institutes. It was the happiest day of my life. Swami gave me the opportunity to serve his organization as the National Education Coordinator from November 2006 to November 2010, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Through all these years, however, that phrase, Omkaram Parabrahma Swarupam, never left me. About 2 years ago, I listened to a lecture on Om that dropped the penny. I realized that Swami initiated me at a very young age into the spiritual path with the highest teaching possible in Vedanta, only I was not ready. I'm beginning to understand the profundity of that statement only now. Studying Upanishads and Swami's teachings and summarizing them is deepening my understanding of his mission. I sometimes tend to question my own intensity of devotion towards him, and one morning recently, after writing to him about it, I opened one of his discourses and these words popped. He said, "You think that you are worshipping me? It is a great mistake to think so. When the same Atma is present in everyone, who is the worshipper and who is worshipped? In the path of spirituality, it is a mistake to think, I'm your devotee, you're my guru. True wisdom lies in realizing that you and I are one." This hit me in the face. It proved to me that miracles and experiences are only his calling cards to start establishing our faith in him, a beginning to our spiritual journey. Once that faith is firmly established, then it becomes our duty to actually stop looking for miracles and start living what he wants us to be. He repeatedly addressed us only as Divyatma Swarupa or Prema Swarupa. Why do we hesitate to believe that's who we really are? Regardless of the failures in that path, we have to rise again and again and again until that knowledge that we are all divine becomes a practical living reality. So, brothers and sisters, let us ask for only one thing, and that is to attain that realization that we are Parabrahma Swarupas living in Brahmanandam, bliss. From this auspicious day forward, I pray that He gives us strength to live with full conviction and knowing that we are Him. Sai Ram.
Oh Lord, may we live in peace. Oh Lord, may we live in peace. Oh Lord, may we live in love. Oh Lord,
Sairam, we the SSC Group 3 children of Canberra would like to offer this special message on this auspicious Maha Aradhana Day 2020. Today, the whole world is facing some unprecedented events of COVID-19 caused by an unseen virus, resulting in deaths and suffering to many people.
Whilst we pray for the strength and courage of those victims, we remind ourselves of Swami's words, "Why fear when I am here?" With prayers to Swami to save the humanity from the crisis, we offer our thoughts on how to use values in times of crisis, leadership in crisis, things we neglect and lessons learnt, virtual life and values, how to benefit from seclusion, making our health better, and so on. Sairam.
Yeah, there's a crisis in Australia that is causing lots of fear in us. But keeping the 5 human values of love, truth, right conduct, non-violence, and peace in our mind will help us stay in the right mindset. Applying these values to our daily lives while in isolation will help us see the positive side of all situations.
How fortunate are we? As technology has so advanced, we are able to do work, school, SSC classes, and even hang out with our friends within our own home. But living virtually can be hard and has its own challenges. You can feel lonely. You can feel tempted to spend too much time on social media. You can also be bullied and targeted. It is easier for us to fall through the cracks, to go unnoticed, and for depression and mental unrest to kick in. Though we have lost connection with others, we have Swami and his teachings. Swami was omnipresent before COVID-19, and he is omnipresent today. As Swami says, "I am always with you." His teachings and human values such as truth, love, peace, right conduct, and non-violence is very important. Let our beloved Swami and his human values illuminate our virtual lives.
As humans, we have seen COVID-19 as something that is destructive, like guns and bombs. But it's a tiny germ, and we can't even see it. But somehow, it has changed what we know as normal. I believe that COVID-19 has given us many valuable lessons that we can use to change how we treat ourselves and the world. COVID-19 has physically given us a valuable lesson by showing how we've neglected Earth as humans. We can see this in polluted towns with major industries and many vehicles that release a substantial amount of greenhouse gases. But recently, with the current lockdown and the restrictions, the pollution of these towns have dropped significantly. I mean, yes, it is inconvenient for others, but we did learn a valuable lesson about how we've neglected our Earth and encouraged carbon emissions to be released.
In this time of seclusion, it is very easy to express emotions such as discontentment and resentfulness. But as tough as it may seem, we must practice patience and learn to harmonize with our surroundings. Although seclusion and isolation have been viewed as stigmas for centuries, we have learned that we can use this crucial period to self-reconfigure and tap into deeper internal exploration.
There is a crisis, but surely there is life after the crisis, and we need to realize this is an opportunity to shape a better society. This isn't thinking in present tense, but instead thinking about the future. The pandemic is daunting just thinking about it because of all the changes it has brought to people's lives. Our awareness of the harm it can cause is still low, but we do need to think beyond the present, engaging our leadership and values. The crisis has made us realize how important our community is and the importance of cooperation, trust, generosity, communication, and lending a hand.
In a time like this, there are certain people we depend on to help us and tell us what to do. These people are leaders. Leaders are people that we can follow and listen to when in need of advice or information. Right now, we are faced with yet another pandemic, and leaders all around the world are discussing a way of making this world a safe place again. Some leaders are highly recognized throughout the world and hold very powerful titles, like President or Prime Minister. But sometimes leaders come in very unrecognized ways, like your doctors that are very significant in this time. Leaders are people that help you. People like doctors and nurses are sacrificing things to help a lot of people, and I pray for them. I think there are three main qualities that make up a leader. These are honesty, commitment, and confidence.
Without the pandemic, most of us forget who we are as a person, and we just get caught up with society and the modern day and age in technology. During the coronavirus has given me an opportunity to reflect on my identity and who I am as a person. The extra time during quarantine is great for me because I can learn new hobbies and practice skills. And because I'm in a secluded environment, it allows me to be creative within my surroundings. We should make our quarantine challenges an opportunity for growth and development, instead of turning it to negative habits that may impact us for the long term. I know in my heart that Swami has a plan for us, so we always have to put our faith in him and conquer his challenges he has given us.
The seclusion has happened and it is likely to happen again. But what the problem really is a completely housebound life with no friends and no going outside. The question is how to manage this in our day-to-day life. One of the main things we can do is talk to friends over the phone and socialize with friends as much as possible, so it doesn't feel like you're shut out from the world. But one main thing we can take advantage of in this period of time is to make full use of the time we have. Do something useful, something that would greatly improve your normal lifestyle. It could also be something you're struggling with, such as something like a school subject, like maths. You might want to study over some chapters while you have a break from everything. Or in my case, it might be basketball. I would take full advantage of this time period of isolation to just train and get better and better. Because then, instead of being only prepared for the next season, I can become much better than I used to just because of the hours of work I put in beforehand. I hope this makes your quarantine experience much better than it used to.
There is a crisis, but surely there is life after the crisis, and we need to realize this is an opportunity to shape a better society. This isn't thinking in present tense, but instead thinking about the future. The pandemic is daunting just thinking about it because of all the changes it has brought to people's lives. Our awareness of the harm it can cause is still low, but we do need to think beyond the present, engaging our leadership and values. The crisis has made us realize how important our community is and the importance of cooperation, trust, generosity, communication, and lending a hand. It's times like these that make us reflect on our actions. This crisis is our wake-up call to live our full potential, to give guidance to others, and most importantly, to spend time with friends and family, to love all and serve all. And love is selflessness, and self is lovelessness. The words of our beloved Sathyasai Baba.
We made an attempt in the above messages to think it through on how to manage the challenges we now face with COVID-19 through values we learn and practice. We thank the teachers and parents who contributed to make this offering on Swami's auspicious Aradhana Day 2020. Sai Ram.
Hare Rama,
మధుర మధుర మురళీ ఘనశ్యామ మధుర మధుర మురళీ ఘనశ్యామ మధురాధిపతే రాధే శ్యామ सूरदास प्रभु हे गिरिधारी सूरदास प्रभु हे गिरिधारी मीरा के प्रभु हृदय विकारी मीरा के प्रभु हृदय विकारी मधुर मधुर मुरली घन श्यामा मधुराधिपते राधे श्यामा सूरदास प्रभु हे गिरिधारी हे गिरिधारी मीरा के प्रभु हृदय विकारी मीरा के प्रभु हृदय विकारी मधुर मधुर मुरली घन श्यामा मधुराधिपते राधे श्यामा
విద్యార్థులారా,
స్టూడెంట్స్,
విద్యార్థినీయులారా,
బాయ్స్ అండ్ గర్ల్స్,
ప్రపంచమునందు ఎవరెవరు ఎన్నెన్ని చేసినప్పటికీ వారు చేసింది మాత్రము తప్పింది కాదు.
In this world, one might act in one's own way, but they cannot escape destiny or the results of one's own action.
ఎన్ని చేసినను, ఎన్ని చూసినను, ఎన్ని చెప్పినను తాను చేసేటువంటి యొక్క పని చాలా ప్రధానమైనటువంటిది.
Whatever that is said, whatever that is seen, whatever that declared and thought over, one cannot run away from the results of his action.
అయితే మహనీయులు చేసినటువంటిది మహనీయులకు, పామరులు చేసినటువంటిది పామరులకు, లౌకికము చేసినటువంటిది లౌకికములకు దాని రిజల్ట్స్ తప్పక వస్తుంటుంది.
Be that a saint or an ignorant innocent one, worldly otherwise, one cannot escape the results of one's own action.
కనుక మనం చేసినది తప్పించుకోవచ్చును అని ఎవరికి యుక్తి ఉండకూడదు.
Therefore, one should never entertain the thought that he can run away from the results of his action.
నీవు ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళినను ఆ కర్మ యొక్క రిజల్ట్స్ నీ వెంట మేఘములు అనేది వెంటాడుతుంటుంది.
The results of your action will follow you like your own shadow wherever you go.
కనుక మానవుడు ఎంతకాలం బ్రతికినప్పటికీ, ఎంతకాలం సంచరించినప్పటికీ, ఎంత గొప్పవాడైనప్పటికీ తాను చేసినటువంటిది మాత్రము వెంటాడుతూ ఉంటుంది.
Therefore, one may live long. They may be great people of all achievement and accomplishment, but they have to bear in their mind that they have to face the results of their action.
మనము ఎట్టి పని చేసినామో అటు మంచిది మంచి, చెడ్డకు చెడ్డ రిలేటెడ్ రిజల్ట్స్ వస్తూనే ఉంటుంటుంది.
Therefore, based on our actions, good and bad, give us the results equally, proportionately.
కర్మ ఫలమైనటువంటిది తప్పినది కాదు.
Therefore, karma phala, the results of action, are inescapable.
కర్మం తప్పిపోయినప్పటికీ కర్మ ఫలితం మాత్రము తప్పదు.
Action would come to an end at one stage, but the results will be kept in waiting.
విద్యార్థులారా,
స్టూడెంట్స్,
కర్మఫలం తప్పుతుంది అని మీరు అనుకోవచ్చును.
You may think that you can escape karma phala, the results of your action.
అయితే కర్మఫలం తప్పుతుంది నిజమే.
Sometimes it is escapable, no doubt.
ఎప్పుడు?
When?
దైవానుగ్రహములకు పాత్రులైనటువంటి వారికి ఆ కర్మను తప్పిస్తుంది.
When you are the recipient of God's grace plentifully, you can escape the results of your action.
కర్మ ఎంత చేస్తున్నావో దానికి పదింతలు కర్మ ఫలం లభిస్తుంది.
As is the action, so is the consequence, even much more.
కనుక మనము ఫలితమును తప్పించుకోవాలంటే దైవానుగ్రహమునకు పాత్రులు కావాలి.
Therefore, in order to avoid the results of our action, one has to pray to God and deserve His grace.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Satyasai Hare Bhakta Jana Samrakshak Bhakta Jana Samrakshak Pati Maheshwara Om Jai Jagadish Hare Sashivadana Shrikara Sarva Pranapati Swami Sarva Pranapati आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदेवं मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्र शयन ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी ओ साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अंदुकु मंगल आरती अंदुकु मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 peace 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 on earth peace 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 for all the universe for all the universe for all the universe जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की